The two questions I get before anything else, what's it worth and what do I have to fix? And the answers are less precisely than Zillow implies and less than you think. I'm Debi Stoll, 25 years in Bryan-College Station real estate. 4 questions, straight answers, no pitch. Here we go. Let me explain what a Zestimate actually is, because it's not a valuation and it was never meant to be one. It's a computer model. It takes public records and recent nearby sales and produces an estimate. Here's what it does not know. It doesn't know you redid the kitchen in 2019. It doesn't know your roof is 3 years old. And it doesn't know your foundation has a repair history or that your lot backs up to a green belt instead of a busy road. It's never been inside your house, and it never will be. And Texas makes it worse than most states. We're a non-disclosure state. Sales prices aren't public record here. So in most of the country, these models are fed real, closed prices. In Texas, they're working with less. That's why the estimates you see on your own street can often vary by tens of thousands in either direction. Now, it's not useless, it's directionally fine. If it says 310,000, you're probably not sitting on 600,000, but do not build a retirement plan on it. What actually sets your number is closed comparable sales, homes generally like yours nearby that sold in the last 3 to 6 months, adjusted for the differences. That's what an agent's CMA does, and it's what an appraiser does. Here's what I'd tell you to do. Get a CMA from a local agent. It's free, it takes an hour, and there's no obligation. Then, and this is the part people skip, ask them to show you the actual comps and explain the adjustments. If somebody hands you a number without showing you their work, get a second opinion. The number matters less than whether they can defend it. Real quick, if any of this is hitting close to home, my number's on the screen and in the description. I'm not going to put you on a list or call you every week. I'll just answer the question. Okay, back at it. You do not have to renovate. Please hear me on that, because I watch people spend $40,000 they'll never see again. Here's the rule. Buyers pay a premium for turnkey, but they don't pay you back for taste. If you put in the granite you like, the buyer who wants quartz doesn't care, and the buyer who is going to gut it anyway definitely doesn't care. You spent $30,000 and move the price maybe $15,000. What actually returns money, roughly in order, paint, neutral, whole house. It's the highest return for real estate and it isn't close. Deep clean and declutter. Free to cheap, and it changes photos more than anything you can buy. Landscaping in the front door. First photo, first impression. Fixing anything actively broken, the running toilet, the sticky window, the burnt out bulbs, the fence panel that's been leaning since 2021. Not because they're expensive to fix, but because the buyer who finds 5 small broken things assumes there are 50 they can't see. Carpet sometimes. If it's stained or it's from the 90s, replace it. If it's just a little worn, offer an allowance instead and let them pick. What I'd leave alone? Kitchens, bathrooms, flooring you'd have to guess on, and anything you'd take a loan out for. And listen, if you're 74 years old, the answer to, should I manage a 6-week kitchen renovation, is always no, regardless of the return, because you'd have to live through it. Selling as is a completely respectable strategy. You price for it, you disclose honestly, and you attract the buyer who wants to make it theirs. Those buyers exist in every price range in this town. As I'm recording this in August of 2026, here's where we are. 102 days on the market for Bryan-College Station and 4 months of inventory. But that average hides the thing that you actually need to know. There are 2 markets in this town, and which one you're in depends on your price. Anything in the entry range moves fast because that's where the buyers are and there's not enough of it. Move up and it slows down. The higher your price, the smaller your buyer pool and the longer your timeline. If you're above $750,000, plan on real patience. Then there's the A&M rhythm, which is specific to us and nobody in Dallas has to think about it. Our market breathes on the academic calendar. Spring and early summer are the busiest windows, And that's when relocating faculty, staff, and families with school-age kids are shopping. Things thin out in the fall and go quiet from Thanksgiving to New Year's. Now here's the part that matters more than any of it. Days on market is not something the market does to you. It's mostly a pricing decision. A correctly priced house in a slow market sells. An overpriced house in a hot market sits, gets stale, and then sells for less than it would have if it had been priced right on day one. The first 2 weeks are your best 2 weeks. That's when every buyer with an alert set sees it fresh. Waste those weeks testing a high number and you don't get them back. And when you plan, remember, the clock doesn't stop at under contract. Add another 30 to 45 days to close. If you need to be out by a date, count backwards from it and add a cushion. I'm going to say something against my own interest here. For most retirees, this isn't a market timing decision at all. Here's why. If you sell high, you buy high. You're staying in the same market. The only person who truly wins by timing is someone cashing out entirely and renting, and that's not most of you. What actually decides it is your life. Are the stairs a problem now? Is your spouse's health stable? Is the yard beating you? Do you want to hear the grandkids while they still want you around? Those are the variables, and none of them care what mortgage rates do in November. Now there is one real timing argument, and it's got nothing to do with the market. It's this. Moving is physically hard. Sorting a house, packing it, and starting over in a new place at 68 is a different experience than doing it at 78. Every year you wait, the move gets harder, and the odds go up that someone else ends up making the decision for you. If you're going to do it in the next 5 years, the case for the front end of that window is strong. Here's the practical version. If you're thinking about the next 12 months, get a net sheet and a CMA now and make a real plan. If you're thinking about 3 to 5 years out, don't sell, but do the small things. Get the exemptions right. Keep up the maintenance. Take pictures of the improvements you've made and keep the receipts, because you'll want those for your cost basis. And we'll get into why in the next video. And if someone's telling you that you have to move right now because the window's closing, that's a sales tactic. The window is not closing. It's a house. So if you're sitting there thinking it might be time, you don't have to be ready. Most of the people I helped spent 2 or 3 years thinking about it before they ever picked up the phone. That's normal. I'm Debi Stoll with the Doorstep Home Group right here in Bryan-College Station. Call or text me at 979-229-8463. No pressure, no timeline, no list. Your doorstep to home starts here.